descendants.
It is now my country, too.
Naomi had changed in the 10 years she had been away from Bethlehem. But when she came to the well outside the village, some of her old friends recognized her and greeted her warmly.
Is this really Naomi, the pleasant one?
Do not call me the pleasant one. Call me Mara, the bitter one, for I have a bitter sorrow. My husband and my sons are dead. But Ruth, my son's wife, has chosen to come here with me, for she worships the God of Israel.
Naomi's friends welcomed Ruth, somewhat coldly at first, but soon she would receive a special blessing from the Lord in this country of Judea. In order to find food for herself and Naomi, Ruth went out to the barley fields. For in those days, it was the custom of Hebrew landowners to leave some stalks of grain for the poor people to gather. Now the field where Ruth gathered grain was one belonging to a man named Boaz. And when he came out to his field and saw her there, he asked his overseer about her.
Who is this young woman?
She's the one who came back with Naomi from Moab. She said, "Please let me gather grain from the sheaves." And she's been working from early morning until now.
Ruth had seen Boaz at the edge of the field and had decided who he was because of his fine clothes and the way he spoke with the overseer. Now Boaz walked over to her.
Don't go and gather grain in any other field. You may stay in this one. Stay with my women workers. When you are thirsty, go to the water jars and drink.
Why are you so kind to me, a foreigner?
I've heard of all you've done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your mother and your father in the country where you were born and came to a people you did not know. May the Lord reward you for what you've done. May the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come for shelter, fully repay you.
You are most kind, my lord, for you have helped me, even though I'm not one of your servants.
From the moment of her meeting with Boaz, Ruth was treated with great kindness. At noon, she was invited to sit with the workers and was given all the food she wanted. And Boaz even gave orders to his workers to pull out some stalks from the bundles so that there would be plenty of barley for Ruth to gather. By the end of the day, she had gathered almost a bushel of grain, enough food for many days. That evening, when Ruth came home, she told Naomi all that had happened, how the owner of the field had been kind to her. And when Naomi heard that it was Boaz, she was very pleased.
Oh, may the Lord bless Boaz for his kindness. The man is a close relative who may help us.
Oh, then he also said to me, "You may stay near my servants until they have harvested all my grain."
It is well, my daughter.
So Naomi encouraged Ruth to go to the fields belonging to Boaz. Ruth faithfully worked in the fields every day, and every evening she brought home a good supply of grain to her mother-in-law. At the end of the harvest season, Naomi's thoughts turned to the future of her loyal, unselfish daughter-in-law.
My daughter, should I not try to find a good home for you? Is not Boaz, with whose servants you have been working, a relative? Tonight he threshes barley on the threshing floor. Wash and anoint yourself and put on your best clothes and go down to the threshing floor and see Boaz.
From the kindness that Boaz had